Dispatches from the Jupiter Accords, welcome to your future. In 1954, President Eisenhower met with extraterrestrials from the Galactic Federation of Worlds at an Air Force base in California. They explained that Earth, due to manipulation from two groups of invasive negative ETs, was on a negative timeline that would have disastrous consequences for the entire galaxy. The Federation informed the President that immediate steps were necessary to move Earth to a positive timeline. The first group to raise their hands and say they wanted to work with the Federation to change the timeline were the Navy's Joint Special Operations Command. This decision in itself was a major turning point in the timeline. The Galactic Federation of Worlds had been alone in a vicious war across the galaxy that was now centered in our solar system. The Federation soon came to value their partnership with this section of the Navy, who never shied away from a fight. The Federation called them the best of the best. They came to be known as the Earth Alliance, and this coalition was able to defeat both groups of negative ETs who were driven from the underground bases on the Earth, the Moon, and Mars by the fall of 2021. Excellent news for the human race. When this victory was imminent, the Andromeda Council and the Galactic Federation of Worlds conducted meetings with Earth's governments, militaries, and corporations. These meetings were held in a space station in Jupiter's orbit. This unusual meeting place used many advanced technologies. One was that each person who attended these meetings had their thoughts read, so there was no possibility of lying or deceiving. The agreements that came from these meetings are called the Jupiter Accords, first discussed in episodes 22 and 23. And I'm pleased to report that I have an update. JP is an alias for a U.S. Army Space Program soldier who was given the green light from his command to talk about certain missions he is sent on. He gives these reports in interviews conducted by Dr. Michael Salla at Exopolitics Today and his website exopolitics.org, and in the 3 books listed below. My thanks to Dr. Salla, Megan Rose, and Elaine Dana, who are the premier voices reporting on the intervention of the Galactic Federation of Worlds and the resulting Jupiter Accords. The war took a toll on the Federation space fleet, and a counterattack was expected. So the first Jupiter Accord agreement was for U.S. corporations to use fifth-density Federation technology in building a new, advanced space fleet. In conjunction with this, a fifth-density satellite fence has been arrayed above Earth. This newly built Earth Alliance space fleet now needed Earth pilots trained in fifth-density technology to fly them. JP recounts the following mission. He was picked up from his base in Florida with 3 other people around 6 a.m. on April 15, 2024. As they traveled north, the bus kept stopping at different bases, picking up more military personnel. As this 44-seat bus started filling up, everyone started comparing notes, trying to figure out what kind of mission they were on. Through this, JP found that most of the personnel on the bus were pilots. Many were U.S. military, but some were from foreign militaries. As they talked, he learned that all of these pilots have had off-world missions working with the Palladians we call Nordics from the Federation. There was a total of 32 military personnel on the bus as it continued north. When the bus stopped, they were in a secure military area facing a tunnel opening outside of an extensive cave system in the Huntsville, Alabama region. After everyone on the bus was biometrically scanned, the bus proceeded into the cave opening. It was tight going, and the bus driver scraped the side of the tunnel once as they moved deeper into the mountain. The tunnel came to a large cavern. All were told to disembark and were once again scanned. They were directed to a large metal door with undecipherable writing and an outline of a UFO etched into the metal. The door was opened to reveal a narrow tunnel, which they entered single file. As they proceeded, JP could feel the energy and vibration shift higher as a voice on an intercom told them to continue walking forward. They emerged from the tunnel onto a large platform overlooking a massive, brightly lit cavern. Looking into the cavern, they saw about 30 to 40 spaceships, hovering about 30 feet off the ground. Under each of these ships stood a Nordic extraterrestrial from the Galactic Federation of Worlds. The pilots from the bus, who must have worked with these Nordics before, ran to join the Nordic they were familiar with from previous missions. The pilots stood next to each Nordic and grasped their wrist. As the Nordics raised their other arm, the ship lowered, and just as it looked like the ship was on top of their heads, each pair disappeared into their ships, and the ships phased out of this dimension and were no longer visible. Before the ships phased out, JP also noticed that bright orbs came out of each ship. He asked the only other guy on the bus who was not a pilot, what do the orbs do? JP was told that the orbs fly ahead of the ships as an observation platform to inform the Nordics if any threats are detected in or around their flight path. JP was also told that these fifth-density Nordic ships are organic and somehow meld with the consciousness of the pilots, who use thought and an AI interface to navigate these craft, so a very special training is needed to pilot these advanced spaceships. JP and the other soldier were directed to an observation room, where JP reports seeing ships phasing in and out, coming and going like an airport for about 3 hours. JP concluded by saying that he got on the same bus with 18 military personnel, most different from the group who drove up, for the long return ride back to his base in Florida. Since he had no direct role on this mission, he believes he was sent to witness this training and told he had the green light to talk about it to further disclosure. This pilot training mission fits perfectly with the Jupiter Accords, as it was deemed imperative that a new advanced space fleet be built quickly, which would need trained pilots. The Jupiter Accords cover actions required by Earth's governments, militaries, and corporations to not only defend planet Earth, but also to remove and replace systems put in place to subdue, harm, and control Earth's population. As revealed in episode 23, plans and training are underway on advanced medical technologies that have been suppressed, as well as manufacturing of advanced energy devices. These devices will replace the need for oil, coal, gas, nuclear, wind, and solar power, as well as the need for power stations and transmission lines. Plans were also discussed to replace our current internet system with an unhackable fifth dimension servers controlled by the Earth Alliance. All of this is wonderful news, and I'm happy to be able to report this good news to you. Thanks for joining me for this episode of Soul Ascension Insights. I hope you enjoyed it. There will be many who say this is all nonsense, and I respect their beliefs, as I hope they'll respect mine. In part 2 of Dispatches from the Jupiter Accords, we'll discuss how selected Nordic ETs are prepared for living and working with scientists, governments, and militaries on Earth. And in part 3, we'll reveal plans to secure the financial system. As always, I'll leave a book and media list below for those who wish to explore on their own. Thanks again, and I'll be back with more episodes.